Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Keeping Up with Conspicuous. Hi Lucy. Oh no, wait, Nico. So joined today by Nico as Lucy is off skiing, and we're really excited because today we are taking a deep dive with Charlie from Zaptica. So thank you so much, Charlie, for joining us. Real pleasure. I know everyone's really busy. January, so it's like
Thank you for having us.
Of course. Let's start, Charlie, then. Bit typical, an intro, but tell us a little bit about who you are, what you do, just to give everyone watching, if they don't know you or Zaptica, please.
Yeah, so a bit about my personal background. So I am the director at Zaptica, one of two directors. I'm a Microsoft MVP. I've been in the sort of low-code industry for at least 5 years, but in the tech industry coming up to 8 years. And yeah, worked for a couple of gold partners, Microsoft gold partners in the past. And then 6 months ago, we decided to set up Zaptica, our own IT consultancy, focused on delivering low-code solutions and solving business problems, and then implementing pro-code where low-code falls short.
Oh, amazing. Okay.
That's a sort of in a nutshell, but obviously there's a lot more to Zaptica than just that.
It's also a very brave move to set your company up in a year when there's a bit up and down and a few struggles, such as last year. What made you decide to do that?
Well, there was a few contributing factors. We've always had the desire, so myself and Alex, the other director, we've always had the desire to set up on our own. But we needed the experience of working with gold partners, Microsoft partners, to see how they work, how they operate. And actually with the experience we had, there was things that we liked, things that we seen work, things that we didn't. And we felt like we were in a position where we were ready to make that move and establish our brand and our company. But you're right, it was a really, really difficult time. And I kind of always go with the approach with everything I do that I'd rather fail fast. So I was like, if we can survive a storm whilst it's difficult, then we will be able to overcome future hurdles and future storms that come our way. So yeah, it does take time to set up those connections, the client interactions, setting up a business.
And no one
There's so much that goes into it.
That you're not afraid of taking a risk as a business, which is a good thing in this market.
Yeah, we did. We had to take a massive risk. We were both on, in good jobs and secure jobs, but without that risk, you always think, what if? And I've always been a barrier pusher. Like I want to push boundaries, So yeah, you're right. It was a tough market, but I think it was the right move for us.
Yeah. And so, Nick, I'm going to steal a question off Nico, who mentioned this question this morning.
Okay.
What advice would you give to someone considering starting up a similar consultancy within Dynamics Power Platform?
So I think what's been successful for us so far is the community side of things. So we are well integrated within the community. I'm personally a Microsoft MVP. I also own a Power Platform user group. So there's a lot that I do with inside the community, which gives me a variety of connections all around the world, right? So people with inside this space, I've worked as traditional developers outside of the Microsoft sphere, but people with inside the Microsoft community are very supportive and want to help and see you succeed. So first thing would be to build up those connections. The second thing for us that's worked really well is building up relationships like this, where, I know that I can come to you and I can scale fast. I know that you're going to provide me really good quality resources, trusted resources that you've worked with. I can gain that trust. So having those sort of relationships, not only with community, but also with very good recruitment firms that you can build trust
Did you hear that?
with. But that has been, that is a successful factor of why we are where we are at the moment, because you then are able to go out and sell and you are able to scale up, and you don't just have to target those small things with the current resources you have, because that you've got the ability to grow fast.
You've got to think smart, haven't you? I mean,
yeah,
I think definitely there's a lot to be gained out of recruitment companies and having chats with recruiters other than just receiving CVs and giving. I mean, if you think about it, you get a picture of the market as it stands on a daily basis, like, and we can provide not just a market update, salary advice, like what your priorities need to be in terms of hiring. If you're a startup, especially, like, does it need to be focused on hiring a sales director and then building out a pre-sales team from there? Like, we work with startup partners, we're working with one at the moment, so it's really interesting to hear what advice you would give to others, because we see others wanting to make that step regularly.
And I think for us, the other thing is, like, I know we've got some, you know, conversations coming up in the diary around the recruitment process, you know. So when we started out, we did get some big projects, and because we were delivering fast, we were quite hands-on, plus using contractors that we, you know, trusted and used, and they actually felt like part of the family. They didn't feel like contractors, because, you know, they delivered through our rigorous processes that work for us. But, you know, the support that you get from the likes of yourself to actually then step into the perm market and start recruiting, and what that journey looks like, and sort of having that hand-holding experience, because, you know, someone like myself hasn't been through that before, is really beneficial.
Yeah, definitely.
And that's why that relationship is so important, I think.
Yeah. What about so going back to Zaptica as a company, what are the standout points, and in, you know, integrating with your standout points? I know obviously things are still fairly early on in your journey, but where do you want to go in future? Where are you looking to?
So I think, so there's kind of two parts to it. So at the moment, what sets us aside from other people is certain services that we offer, and certain expertise that we have, and also, you know, the price point that we can provide against the quality. I think for our growth plan, where we want to get to, we definitely want to bring in permanent resources into the Zaptica family. So, you know, we do treat it as a family. We want to empower people to go out to events. You know, one of the biggest thing I said was community, and how important it is. It's important for all our members of staff, right? You know, everyone who joins us as a Zaptica family will be traveling with us to these conferences, having the opportunity to speak.
Yeah, because we see a lot of partners we work with, Charlie. I don't, correct me if I'm wrong, Nico, but maybe only like the directors or senior management team will go to conferences, but actually, like, the value in all staff going.
Yeah, I guess it depends, doesn't it, on the conferences. Some of them are a lot more technical, where, you know, you get part of the team, and then there's other ones where maybe it's more of the senior members of staff. So it can vary, can't it, from conference to conference? Charlie,
exactly that. Like, sometimes, you know, we'll send the more senior staff, but there'll be other conferences that we'll try and push more junior staff for their personal growth, in the sense, why don't you go out your comfort zone and speak? We'll help you, we'll support you. You know, as I say, I own a Power Platform user group, so I can, you know, I already support people in the sense that I give them a place to come and speak. And that journey, I think our journey is to recruit this year and grow. We definitely want to do that, but it's working out how we can provide that environment that we take on senior and juniors, because the last thing we'd want to do is bring on some juniors that don't have that, you know, sort of mentoring and growth and learning sort of academy, essentially, with hands-on experience, without, you know, the support, because otherwise they're going to have a lot of stress and worries. So it's finding that balance, and that's why we'll be working with yourselves to, you know, strike that balance.
It's good that you're aware of that, because not a lot of people are. They kind of focus on what they need rather than taking into at least consideration of what others would need. And I think for longevity and talent retention, such an important topic over the last like 18 months. And that's, I think, something that will help you succeed. Not that you aren't already, but you know what I mean?
I think that's one of the advantages, right, of the directors being technical and also going through that delivery program. When I started out my career, I was a test analyst. Then I worked all the way up from development, leading teams to, where I am now. So with that background and the understanding of the technology and the problems we're solving, I think, it makes us more considerate around the journeys that other people will be going through.
Yeah, definitely. And what's your favorite thing that you do on a daily basis? Give us an example.
Oh, that is a good question. My favorite thing personally is talking to clients or prospects, just because I get excited when I'm presented a business problem, because actually we take those problems on ourselves. So, one of the biggest things that we do deliver as well is the ongoing support after. We don't just do the work, develop it, and then there we go.
Yeah.
We get a lot of our satisfaction, me personally as well, from actually seeing the products that we're developing, the solutions we're developing, be used. And I want to know what that user feedback is. I want to know what they would want to enhance. I want to know what impact it's having.
Yeah.
So I think for me, it's speaking to clients that we've already delivered for, clients that are approaching us with problems, and taking on their business problems and then bringing the tech to solve those problems. And sometimes it's not just tech. Sometimes you have to go back to a drawing board and actually we have to look at the process first. We have to look at the internal resource, and we have to look at the change management, the adoption piece, before we even consider the tech. And that's also what sets us apart. We strip this problem apart before saying, right, Power Platform, Dynamics, that'll solve it for you. So I think that what gets me out of bed.
Yeah, of course. Just sort of following on from that as well. So Zaptica as a business, I mean, who or what is your ideal client? I mean, who is it that you guys cater for? What is the focus for the business?
So at the moment, we target two industries specifically. That is construction and the legal industry. That's mainly because that's where a lot of our clients fall. It doesn't mean that we won't work with clients outside of that. We are working with retail clients. We've worked with media clients in the past, but they're our main focus areas at the moment. And usually, as I say, that it's not really. We do specialize in Power Platform, right? We have expertise in Power Platform, but we also had those expertise in Dynamics. We also had those capabilities with ProCode. It's not really Zaptica focused on this technology. Zaptica focused on solving business problems in different industries, and then using the technology to solve those business problems. And what sets us aside, one of our specialisms is the technology we do deliver. We make sure are scalable, accessible, and performant. That's what we're known for. We've done talks with Microsoft UK on, how to their low-code teams about building accessible apps. We go around the world at conferences to talk to people how they can make their solutions more performant, more accessible.
Your involvement in the community is impressive. Actually, I think it's like crucial.
Thank
and
you.
I think. Yeah, I just think there's a lot to be taken from it, as you said, and it's why not use the tools that are so easily accessible and like free, Yeah, it just makes sense.
I think the other thing is obviously we've had the history of working for partners. We know what sort of these things cost and the charge out rates, and that's why we know that we're a much more affordable solution or company or partner, because where we've price pointed it, because we know that we can deliver against that, but still there's enough in it to get out of bed and all of those things. So we're not sacrificing quality. They're actually getting quality. They're meeting all the standards that we're known for, but at a very good price point as well. And then you've got all the things that go on top. We've got like special workshops, because you might not even have a business problem. Zaptica don't just solve business problems, but you might have an idea and you just want to bounce up. You want to have like an envisioning or a proof of concept session and go, is this a good idea? Could it work? That sort of thing. And a half-day workshop, or if it's a big idea and you want to take it further, it might be a couple of days workshop. But actually having those industry experts in that space and being able to bounce those ideas off as a business, treat it as like a sort of hackathon. Sort of you you're coming up with the next big thing that's going to make you more, give you the advantage over your competitors. And we want to support those people and those organizations in that journey. So we offer that sort of thing as well.
Amazing.
Interesting. That's a really good point as well. And the question just from my side is, what was that the sort of motivations for wanting to start Zaptica? As in, was it that you saw that gap in the market, or was it that you decided you wanted a more of a lifestyle job? Or, there's different reasons that people start businesses. What was the reason behind it?
So I definitely saw a gap in the market for what we were passionate about as individuals, and then what we could do as a company. And then I saw that gap in the market. Also for what we were known for already, with our expertise, I could see how things could be done differently, and how they could succeed by being done differently.
Can you give us
then I've always
of that.
So for example, like I'll briefly talk about our process, right? But you might come to us with a problem, or you've got a use case, and the first thing we'll do is actually sort of do a high level understanding of the problem, give you a sort of phase 0. So we take a phase 0 approach where we say, right, if you buy into this many hours, we will give you that full deep discovery. And therefore it's not a sort of finger in the air job where we say, right, we think it's going to be roughly this price. We actually break that all down. We talk to your end users. And that's one thing that a lot of companies don't do, is talk to the end users. We find out, what is it that you want? What is it your end users want? Because there's always differences. Someone thinks, they know what the end user wants. You speak to the end users and they've never heard of, this idea, and then they've got all their sort of ideas. And the biggest thing for us is, you could build the best app, but if no one uses it, the app's no good, right? So we always make sure we start with the end users, understand the problem, do that full design and discovery before we even provide like, a cost for the solution and the rollout phase of that development testing. Then we have very rigorous testing approaches. So actually when we do go live, you shouldn't be hitting problems. And then we've got that ongoing support where actually we want to support you with whatever problems you may have when you go live. For example, they might be adoption or training problems that you're having, or you might have access issues, or something, or you want enhancements because actually you've now had a load of feedback because the users are actually using the application every single day. And it's like, okay, well, can you help us build a roadmap? So we join organizations on that journey end to end, and then pass that for the future. And we try and future proof everything. AI is booming. You would have heard all about AI. So we're like, how can we bring AI? But a lot of companies hear AI and go, right, we want AI, and it's like, hold up, you're not there yet. You're not there yet, but we can get you there. But these are the steps to take. So I think that we just saw many gaps in the market, in the sense we felt that we were passionate about what we do, and that we could deliver to clients who are looking for a bit more of a personal relationship with a Microsoft partner.
Yeah, amazing. Good. And what would you say, have there been any big challenges or issues that you've faced on this journey, and how did you overcome any?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think at first, like the first couple of months, it's getting those leads through the door. So
we know all about that here, Charlie.
Yeah, it's completely flipped on its head now. But the first couple of months were tough, and what we quickly realized is that we needed to invest in marketing. We needed a marketing strategy. We needed a full sales and marketing strategy. So that's what we did. And we were, at this point, we were still at that high risk where the market wasn't that great. It was coming up to festive period, all of that sort of thing. But we then invested in marketing, built our capabilities up there, and that's really booming now. And that's generating natural leads. And then it was working alongside other firms, whether it's bigger partners who just don't have the capabilities or need some more capabilities. So we sort of started approaching some partners who we're very well connected with, and then obviously also talking to the likes of yourself who can present opportunities and a foot in the door. And that's why I think, it's important to have those trusted relationships. But I think, it's probably the hardest thing for anyone starting a company. You think it's going to be great from day one, and then you're like, right, now I actually need to go out and get them. But now we're proving it works, and it's a really good time in the market at the moment.
Good. Okay, that's really good to hear.
I guess you can have the problem on the other side as well, almost, where you're getting customers that come to you that maybe aren't right for you as a business, and you don't feel that you're the right partner for them. So I guess where you're at in the journey of the company, being so early on as well, is it can be quite difficult to actually push back and say no to potential customers, passing it on to someone else, or because at the time you almost want to bring on anything that you can. So have you faced those sort of challenges as well? Has that been?
We have actually, on 2 occasions, we've actually had to say no, but saying no was daunting at first, but it was saying no because it wasn't something that Zaptica specialized in or, had the skill set in. And we're never going to take on something that we can't deliver the Zaptica quality, because that would damage our reputation. But luckily we reached out to the market and found, a partner. And actually the first time we said no to something and gave it to, gave that sort of lead to another company, they actually did go and deliver it. And they've actually returned some business because they don't specialize in what we do. So we've actually built up natural partnerships by saying no, which was actually a really scary move at first, saying no, but knowing full well that you can't deliver. So I think it's just be about, as directors, you just need to be open and transparent with yourselves. What is it you want to focus on? Because every company needs a focus. And if we're saying no, can we steer them in the right direction of partners that we already work with?
I guess,
for example,
getting something out of everything. If you know what I mean, like getting a lead or building a relationship, even if you're not helping that person. And that's something we do on a daily basis. We have like a partnership program, which kind of works in the same way as you were describing. But sorry, continue.
No, I was just going to say, like, an example is we don't specialize in security, right? So if a client wanted us to come in and, implement their security across their business, it's not something we would do. So we would pass it on. There's different areas and different technologies. You might get someone who, wants HubSpot experts, right? We don't specialize in HubSpot. We are a Microsoft house. We specialize in Microsoft technologies. We're a Microsoft partner. So there is times where you say no because it doesn't suit your business. There's always going to be challenging clients as well, but we're absolutely loving the learning journey. I think for me, the best thing about this experience so far as setting up a company and being a director is all the learning that I'm doing on a day-to-day basis. Like, honestly, I thought I knew enough. I thought I was being a bit confident. I was like, I've got this stuff. And then, day 2, I'm like, oh my, what's all this paperwork? What's accountancy? What's this? And then you're getting all these people in to help you. And I'm learning every single day, and I'm not afraid to say it. I think as an organization, we'll always be learning, especially within this space, right? The technology stack alone is always evolving. Any business in the technology stack needs to be open to learning, adopting and adapting. And that's very much, we're open to that and very transparent about that.
Bit of a weird question. Doesn't really make sense, but it makes sense.
Here we go.
If you could describe Zaptica with 2 personality traits. So for example, like flexibility or adaptability, what would you say the 2, for anyone listening who would potentially apply for roles with you in the future, how would you describe Zaptica in like 2 words, if you get me?
2.
Yeah.
2.
Gosh.
You've put me on the spot here. I think if I could summarize the learning potential, like your self-growth in one word, then it would be that. So sort of self-growth, because we'll take that as one word. And then I think I can't really summarize it in one word again, but it's the opportunity to reach clients that you might not reach at the moment. And it's also that opportunity to, I think it's all around the self-growth, because, right, if you're joining the Zaptica family, you've got opportunity to lead a team. If you want to lead a team, you've got an opportunity. Yeah, self-growth. There you go. There you go. Yeah. Because you've got opportunity to go to events, speak. You've got opportunities to work with clients that you might not be working with. You know, even though we're only 6 months old, we're working with large global companies. We're currently, you know, working with very large construction companies, retail companies, you know, based not just in the UK. We've got companies in Sweden, clients in US. So, and that's through our connections, right? And the delivery that we've done before. So one thing that Alex and I learned is clients buy into the delivery and our reputation and what we can deliver. And now we set that standard, we set that process. Anyone who delivers with inside that Zaptica family will be delivering to that. So that standard. So it's a chance to really hone in on your skills and choose your sort of pathway, whether that is consultancy, whether that is sales, whether that's leadership, whether it's technical role like architecture, developing. There's so many different roles now that are going to be available within inside Zaptica as we grow.
Regarding sort of next hires, whether that's like 6 months down the line or tomorrow, whenever that may be, what do you think your focus will be on? Like what areas is in consultants or sales, etc.?
So definitely with the amount of leads that we're getting, we're gonna have to increase the sales team. You know, with our investment into marketing, we're now getting a lot of natural leads. So which is great news, but I'm going to need some more sales to support that. And then it's going to be the delivery, but I'm summarizing it as delivery at the moment because we're still going to work with yourselves on what that structure looks like. We've mentioned how we want to build that sort of academy, but we also need people who are able to, you know, do the job just as it would be now to the, you know, the quality that, you know, we set down. And then you need people in between, and all technical roles are different. As I say, we do specialize in Power Platform, but we don't just do Power Platform. So there's a variety of tech roles that will be available because we're broad on the tech stacks that we use.
It's exciting.
But it's definitely going to be delivery and sales, but sales first probably.
Well, there you go. You heard it here first, guys. Keep an eye out on Zaptica in the future, in near future, whenever that might be. Then I'm sure you'll have lots of people really, really interested, and hopefully this will help, you know, just to spread the word a bit more and with our network. So, I mean, thank you so much from both of us, I think, for coming on. I mean, for me as well, it was nice to hear more about Zaptica because I didn't know loads. So I've heard good things, but didn't know loads. So yeah. I
would say I just want to leave everyone with one thing, and it's sort of just be brave, be bold, take risks. It's what I've done. I've done it throughout my career, and it's paying off. So that's what I want to leave everyone with. Whenever you feel like you're comfortable, just evaluate if that's what you want. If you want that comfort, or if you want a bit more, and be bold and be dangerous and take risks.
Oh,
I really like that. Yeah. We'll have to get you back on again in a year's time. See where you've gone.
Absolutely.
I'm sure everyone will be keen to get an update. But yeah, no, that's a really great way to leave things. I think that's a really good.
Thank you. I know we've already had some positive comments as well, Charlie, saying thank you so much. Thumbs up to Charlie. So yeah, thanks guys for watching, and thanks Charlie.
Yeah.
And we'll
thank
see
you very much for having me.
You're more than welcome. Thank you very much.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.